Hello YouTube, this is Keith Kevin Ken. I'm Kevin, and today I have a special knife collection video. And this is a little different. What you see right on the screen are 3 knives that I just got in today on a mail call. Now, don't turn off, because at the end of this video there will be 16 knives on my desk. They will include some very classic knives, all related to this, and some newer knives as well. So we're going to talk today about this mail call that I've gotten. This is the second part of a mail call I just posted. This is the middle of February 2016. If you've been following me, because I post daily, if you're new to this channel, every day you'll be able to see a bunch of knives, and we'll play with them and talk about them. But this came with a wonderful Spyderco mail call that I got with the new Myrtle and the new tie stick. If you haven't seen that video, it's on this channel. Why don't you look at it? It was yesterday or this morning's video. You won't want to miss it, because those are very exciting knives. I've also included my brand new Microtech UTX 85, the automatic out the front. But this is going to lead me into a little bit of history of a couple of very standard Spyderco knives and some interesting sprint runs and other things. Okay, so let's talk about it. Here are the 3 knives I've gotten today. 2 of them are new. 1 of them is not new, but they're new to me. Okay, and I'm very excited that I had a chance to pick it up. The first one, this is the Native 5. It's the blue lightweight version. And the reason I picked this knife up is that Spyderco is doing something very special. Let's see. Can you see that? Maybe not. I'll just talk about it. I've talked about it before. What Spyderco is doing, they started at the end of 2015. They're continuing through this year, as I recorded, 2016. They are taking some of their classic knives, for instance, the Native. This is the Native 5. It's the lightweight Native with the FRN scales. That's fiberglass reinforced nylon scales. It's very light with that very strong back lock. Oh man, I keep talking about the Spyderco back lock because listen, you know it's there. It's their strongest lock, and they really have worked real hard on that. This is the Native. It's a really nice knife. It's a wonderful knife. This is the Native 5. But what Spyderco is doing that is really special is they're taking a lot of these knives and they're doing new versions of them, like this one, in CPM S110V. S110V Steel. That is as premium as you can get. Wonderful steel, and it's not a sprint run. Usually what Spyderco will do is they'll upgrade the steel or upgrade the scales or do something else with a knife and call it a sprint run. Spyderco's definition of a sprint run is a limited edition knife, which means 1,000 or less of the knives, when they're gone, they're gone. They don't repeat a sprint run. Well, now what they're doing is they're taking some of their classic knives, like the Native. They've done it with the Paramilitary 2, and I bought one and upgraded it. And look at this. Here's the Manix. I know that they also, this is the Manix 2, lightweight again, blue. Again, S110V Steel. Both of these knives, by the way, made in the USA at the Spyderco plant in Colorado. Again, this is the Manix 2, lightweight. This is the Native, lightweight. And you probably can't see it because of the glare. I think you can probably see it now. I'm doing the lights like this because, again, I'm going to have 16 knives on the table, and we're going to need that lighting. But anyway, this is S110V Steel on these, and they're upgraded. If you're not familiar with the Native, let me give you the general thing of the Native, and then we're going to go through the history of the Native because I have a bunch of Native knives. Okay, the Native, they're all backlock. They have this wonderful, about a 3-inch blade. It's real compact. I'll tell you about the Native and its design. Spyderco always jokes when they talk about the Native and some of their other popular knives as if they were designed in the dark. In other words, ugly. They're not the prettiest things, but what Sal and Eric do and what their company does is make sure that it fits your hand perfectly, it feels nice, and that you carry it as an EDC. And this fits that bill. There's that choidal, almost 50-50 with the handle, and then the bottom where you can, they've got the jimping, they've got their wonderful blade type that they really love, and it's really a nice knife. You may think it's ugly, I don't, but that is the Native. That's the Native 5 S110. This is the Manix 2 S110 Steel. With the Manix, they have that ball bearing lock right here. I love the ball bearing lock because this is brand new, by the way. I just opened it up 60 minutes ago, and you kind of see, even when I give it a little look at that. Trust me, by the end of the week, it will really be falling. Really nice. Again, just a perfect handle. You have a perfect grip here. You also have a grip with the choidal up there. It's just a wonderful. Both of these, the Manix 2 and the Native 5, are flat ground, great cutters, slicers, etc. We're going to go through the history of the Manix as well, because we have the classic Manix. we also have the wonderful Manix 83 millimeter. And those were the Manix before they had the ball bearing lock. They had the back lock, so we'll talk about them. I love this Manix too, though. Look at, yep, that's my favorite clip. I think the only thing missing from the Native, this is a standard Spyderco clip, but it would be nice, especially when you're talking about lightweight, to have that wonderful wire clip. So those are the two new knives, two of the upgraded steel packages. Those aren't sprint runs, they're production, which means thousands and thousands of them are being created and continue to be created, so you have a chance to grab them. The prices are not crazy as well. So that's great. They also have it with the paramilitary 2 and the military, which I haven't purchased yet. And they're talking about doing other things. Maybe, I hope, the Dragonfly. And then, this is an oldie, but a goodie, and one I could never get my hands on. I have a substantial collection, folks, of Spydercos. I'm reaching about 400 plus knives. I'm a fanatic and I'm crazy. So just put it that way when it comes to knives. You guys know how it is. This right here, though, is one of the few automatic knives coming from Spyderco. This is the Spyderco Citadel, the 92 millimeter. I know a lot of people do have them. I have not had any of these. It's hard to get, even on the secondary market. I was lucky enough to find this perfect condition, wonderful price. S30V Steel, folks. It has a wonderful 3.7-inch blade. I just really love it. Aluminum handle. Look at it. The standard clip on it. The little Spyderco, because you cannot, since it's an automatic, you cannot use that to deploy it. Why would you? It's an automatic. Sometimes there are automatics that you can deploy like that if you live in a city or a place where you just can't do automatics. I happen to have one where you can carry automatics. So this is a wonderful automatic. Man, it just fires out there. So that is, these are the 3 mail call items today. I am so happy I have the Citadel. The only other automatic that I've been able to pick up is the blacked out Autonomy. The knife that came out last year, it really is a rescue knife. It's G10. It has that big button right there that deploys it fast. You see that rescue type blade with the Spidey edge. It is for rescue. It is for emergency uses. It's a wonderful knife. It has that wonderful lock. This is the only automatic knife that I've had out of Spyderco. I want to say they have four knives total. So finally, finally, I have the Citadel. I'm going to look for other ones. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the full automatic collections from Spyderco, but I really like that. So I'm going to take my automatic finally. This again is a Spyderco Citadel, 92 millimeter Citadel, bigger. The aluminum handle, which is wonderful. S30V Steel. The blade is 3.7 inches long. Oh, I love this knife. I finally got it. So I'm crazy. I'm very happy about that knife. So I'm going to take my automatics and set them to the side. And we're going to concentrate on the Manix, the Spyderco Manix, and we're going to talk about the Spyderco Natives. This is 2 mini collections all together. So I just combined a mail call and mini collections. It's late at night, but I want to get this through before I go to bed and then try to post it overnight so that the next day you'll be able to see it early morning or early afternoon on this YouTube channel. So let's start with the Native. So this is my brand new Native. S is the Native 5, lightweight, blue. By the way, all of the new edition S110V Steel Spydercos are either lightweight blue or that blurple. Have you seen the blurple? It's blue and purple, dark blue and dark purple combined. That's when you know, hey, you've got an updated one, okay? And of course you can see the S110 Steel. So let's talk about that. So this is my newest one right here. But let's go back a ways with the Native. This right here, it's a classic. It really is. This is the Native 3. Okay? The Native 3. You can see textured FRN scales, smooth. Really on the back it's smooth under that clip so that it doesn't catch on your pants. This is one of the earlier wire clips as well. Again, all of the Natives, Spyderco jokes about, they look like they were designed in the dark, but man, it just fits your hand like crazy. Look at the choidal, even way back then. It's just perfect. Hollow ground, earlier hollow ground, but very nice. This is VG10 steel because when you go back decade or so, Spyderco really loved their VG10, and VG10 at that time was a wonderful steel. I still like VG10 steel, by the way, and I'm not a steel snob, but it is VG10. So that was, look, they had the clip way back when, but the new one, they switched. Anyway, this is the Spyderco. Look at that. Look how heavier. Has that back lock though. the earlier vision of the Spyderco backlock. Little thicker, but it, you know, that thicker, it feels the hand better, that handle. Excuse me, still getting over a cold. So that's one of the earlier ones. You can see it side by side with the new one. Then there's the Native, just, oh man. This is the S30V Native. Again, hollow ground, one of the earlier Natives. You can see what they did was they slimmed down that handle a bit. Can you see this? Look. Still the same kind of ugly but wonderfully functional. Kept the hollow ground for for cutting. They upgraded the steel from VG10 to S30V. They started putting on their standard clip and not the lightweight clip. But man, the profile's a lot thinner, but still fits nice and rides better in your pocket. So we're still in the early stages of the knife, but now we're at S30V Steel. Then you go to the Native 5, and I'll tell you, obviously I went from the 3 to the 5. I don't have a 4, but you'll know why I went to the Native 5. So this is the Native 5. What Spyderco does, and I talk to you about this on my channel all the time, and today you're going to see a lot of that in these two knives, the Manix and the Native. They upgrade themselves. They pimp themselves. They really do a lot of work to improve their knives. They just continue to do it. This one is a G10 scale. So they went away from the FRN, went to G10, and upgraded the blade again. Instead of S30V, they went to S35VN steel, and they changed from the hollow ground to that classic flat ground from Spyderco, which really slices well. A really nice EDC. Still the standard clip, thinner profile, and that, I'll tell you, that backlock that is so tough. You can feel it being developed even more as we move through this. That is the Native 5 that's now S35V Steel, VN Steel, flat ground. And then, Native 5, baby. Oh, man. This is just beautiful. It's the fluted titanium. Let me move it here. Can you see it? Am I messing with it too much? Again, same profile, same clip, but man, they upgraded everything. It is still S35VN. It's still flat ground, but full tie, fluted. Is that beautiful? It feels so great in the hand. Again, this one, that was not designed in the dark, okay? This one, can you get a good picture of the fluted one? So that's the fluted 5. And then I did get a sprint run. Spyderco did a sprint run, and I picked it up. Again, a Spyderco sprint run means it's a limited edition. Limited edition in Spyderco terms is 1,000 pieces or less. And once they're gone, they're gone. And what they said is, hey, let's re-up the Native 5. Let's do carbon fiber, real carbon fiber, folks. Not that pill ply stuff. Carbon fiber. And believe it or not, this is the first time they went to S110V Steel. Like I told you, CPM, S110V Steel, they usually do it on a limited version sprint run. In this case, they did. They upgraded the scales to carbon fiber from the G10. They upped the blade from S35VN, and baby, S35VN, great steel, to S110V for the sprint run. Limited edition, of course, is discontinued now. So, and now today, as I've told you, as part of their program to update some of their production versions of their more popular knives, this is the new one that I just got in. That's the blue one, S110V Steel. That is my Native collection. That's the mini collection. Yes, this is going long. I'm sorry. Pause it, come back, or stay with me, okay? I want to make sure I get this done, or I'll go to sleep and never get it done. So remember I told you we were talking about the Manix. That's the Natives. Now let's talk about the Manix. We started with my brand new S110V Manix 2, right? Well, let's talk a little bit about the history. This right here is called the Manix. I could only get the early Manix with the combo blade. I found a great conditioned one. It has these steel liners. They are skeletonized, but not a lot. It's a heavy mother. This is for real cutting, baby. And it does not have the ball bearing lock. It has that strong back lock. This was for work. And it's a big mother for you too. Look at it compared to the Manix 2. It is a biggie. It really is. It's a big mother. And it has a 3.75 inch blade. It has that G10. Man, it's made to work. Do you hear me? Almost a 4-inch blade. S30V Steel, though. They started out with S30V Steel and that strong backlock. This was the Manix. This started it all. Now, I'll tell you, one of the more recent releases from Spyderco of the Manix, it's a Manix 2 XL. That large mother that you've probably seen before. It has that G10. It has that little curve on it. They also take the liners and do a little jimping on it that kind of helps you grip it even in your hand. Again, a work knife. It really is that flat ground. It really is, while it's a newer knife, it's 3.8 inches. It's even a little bigger than this knife. It's the update of the original. It's the Manix 2 XL. The big difference, of course, everything else is the same, but of course, this has the bearing lock. Now, you guys know, usually I spend a lot of time opening and closing knives because I love to do that, but I don't have a lot of time to play with them because we're going through so many knives in this mini collection. But the original Manix, the Manix 2 XL that just came out less than 2 years ago. The original Manix, 3.75 inch blade, G10 scales, and then the Manix 2 XL. Now, I skipped ahead because after Spyderco came out with the big Manix, they then did a smaller version, and they called it the 83mm Spyderco Manix. In this case, the blade is 3.25 inches. It had that back lock, and this is where we go from the Manix 2. But this was the start of the Manix 2. It was what Spyderco does a lot. They'll either start with a small knife and then they make a bigger version, or they'll start with a big knife and they make a very small version so that they can really satisfy the market in two different ways. Again, hefty, though that steel liner, I say it's skeletonized, but not much. But man, it's so hefty. It's a wonderful, wonderful blade. That really did kick it off. That is S30V Steel, just like when they started here, and just like with this. Then Spyderco did the modern. This is the Manix 2, and it came in STS BD1 steel. Hey folks, I'm not a steel specialist. If you're watching and you can make a comment and give us more information about this steel, that would be wonderful. All I know is it has this wonderful smoke mirror kind of look. I hear it's a decent steel. Give us more information. I can't help that much with it. But you can see the evolution coming from the smaller Spyderco Manix, the Spyderco Manix 83 millimeter, and then coming with the Manix 2 in this new blade. I told you they keep doing it, don't they? And that ball bearing lock. This is CTS BD1 steel. And again, I mean, that lock is a wonderful lock, but I just love that the blade is so smooth. And then here we go. This is the last one, folks. This was a sprint run. Spyderco always loves their sprint run. This was a Spyderco Manix 2 sprint run. Of course, it has the ball bearings. It also has this diamond pattern. Can you see that? These lights, I had trouble lighting this. Oh, I hope you could see it. If you can't, I'm sorry. There'll be a picture of this on my Instagram. The Instagram is at KeithKevinKen. But it has this wonderful diamond pattern in this gray G10 steel. Why was it a sprint run? Because the blade is cru-wear. CPM cru-wear. C-R-U-W-E-A-R. It was upgraded steel from the D2. Easy to sharpen, retained an edge, even a little more water resistant. They really love this steel. This was a sprint run. Of course, it's discontinued, as most sprint runs are. Once you release it, this went crazy. Look at the jimping. Oh, man, I love this. It feels so great. Wonderful materials as well. That is my collection of Manixes, all off the brand new one I just got about an hour and a half ago, the updated 110 production Manix 2. We start with the original Manix, that big mother. We go to the original small Manix, and then the Manix 2s. And of course, don't forget the natives that we talked about. The evolution of the natives, as well as that beautiful fluted native, that carbon fiber native with, again, 110, S110V, and then the new S110V. Hey, this was a long video, and it's late at night, but I wanted to get it done so at least I can send this to you so you can see all the knives. Now, some of you smart Alex are counting and saying that's not 16, and that's because I took the automatics off the table. So now they're back on it. I think I counted right. Give me a comment if I didn't. Thanks a lot, you guys. This was a long video. I hope you enjoy me at least sharing my knives with you. There's a bunch of mini knives, but it'll be a smaller video because we don't do the big introduction. But I hope you enjoy this. What I'd like to do is go through my entire collection, mini collection at a time, because it's a bunch of knives. Hey, thank you very much for spending your time with me and playing with these knives. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please thumbs this up. Don't forget to hit that. Look at that, I'm getting sleepy. Don't forget to join us, okay? Because I want you to be a part of our family. And if you really become a part of this channel, you'll know when I upload stuff. Anyway, there you go. That's the mail call and the collection video of my native knives, Spyderco Natives, and Spyderco Manix knives. Hey, you guys, hope you have a perfect day. This is Kevin from KeithKevinKen. Thank you. Bye-bye.